I feel like maybe back in the day, people used to sit there and lips more. But I don't think we're doing that these days, and especially in our old age. Like, I'm not just sitting there lipsing.
People are lipsing enough. People are lipsing and touching thigh, then putting fingers somewhere.
Yeah,
and then before you know it, your lips are somewhere else.
Yeah,
on a different toilet.
Pretty quickly, you know, it escalates. It escalates. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys, and welcome to 143 of the Tutus podcast. I am Nana.
And I'm Rose.
And together we are
Tutus.
I almost forgot how our intro goes because we haven't been here in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was listening to the podcast the other day, and sorry, Tara is calling me. So sorry. And and obviously I forgot that we have a new jingle. So I was listening to it thinking, what? Is that us? Is that it sounds really good. Like, I really do like our intro.
I love our intro.
Yeah, I was expecting to hear the old one, but I heard the new one. And I said, oh, yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. How you doing?
Not too bad, actually. I'm so sorry, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube or watching it on Spotify, you're watching it. I had a green peel yesterday, so I feel like my face looks...
It's not peeling.
It's not peeling.
Just a little bit. Just tiny peel. But
I don't think I probably want... Apparently, the person who did it for me says she doesn't think it's actually... Am I going to peel? Because the way she can tell from when she applies the green peel.
Right.
It's a herbal peel. Mm-hmm. And but my face does feel tight.
Right.
Because you can't wash your face for 5 days.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, so I didn't wash my face this morning, guys.
Ooh, child.
I do have, I think it's tinted SPF. It feels like I've got foundation on.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I want to get one done.
Yeah. So when I was sleeping, I put like a t-shirt over my pillow. But yeah. I think I recommend. I do recommend.
Yeah.
The results look great on other people. I don't know about myself yet. But it's herbal, innit? So you can't really go wrong with herbal. It's not chemical.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think I'll definitely be interested. I was never interested in those things, but now I'm just like...
I'm seeing people's face glowing.
I mean, definitely the inspiration definitely comes from you because you're already at Revro. So, you know...
we're radiating over here.
I think you inspire a lot of the mass presenting people.
Do you know what? When I do come back from social media, I am going to incorporate skincare onto my page. So I'm going to archive all my pictures. I'm just gonna rebrand, guys. It's gonna be ro_frimpong, no more river.
Yeah,
it's just me.
Right.
I'm grown now. No, I don't have time for no more nicknames. I'm sorry. If you do, that's on you.
Yeah.
But for me, I
think our relationship with social media is very much it's a difficult one, I think. As much as we want to be present on social media, sometimes I think it's just a bit overwhelming for us because right now you've taken a break from both, right? Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, both of them. And I still know what's going on. I thought that I wouldn't be aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
We've got a Tutu's page.
Yeah.
I do have a another Instagram where I do actually have a private page, by the way. I've had it since this week, but I do have a private Instagram. If I really want to look at things, I can do it on my private Instagram. So
yeah.
What do you call it? Jamie declined my request.
She didn't know
it was me. And I told her yesterday.
So
she was like, oh.
That is so funny. So if you get a request, it might be Ro.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about the name change? Because about 2 weeks ago, you came to us, your friends, and said you don't want to be called Rosie anymore.
Oh yeah.
Rose.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We should talk about that.
We should talk about that because.
So Rosie is a name that came about. I had a teacher in reception called Steve. Shout out to Steve. I think he was one of my best teachers. He used to wear silver Dr. Martens all the time, and I always remember those silver Dr. Martens. They were terrible.
I've never seen silver Dr. Martens in my life.
Painted them. I think it was very painted.
Right.
And he just started calling me Rosie, and it's just stuck since. Like my mum calls me, everyone calls me Rosie. My family do. Everyone just calls me Rosie, and it was I just feel like as I've gotten, especially towards my later 20s and early 30s, I just don't really resonate. I don't really resonate. I don't really resign.
Align.
I don't really align.
Yeah.
Resonate. I don't resonate with the name anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? And I do like Ro. However, when I tell people my name's Ro, they're like, huh? At work, they all call me Ro at work, and there's this big discussion. This guy has been making a massive deal at work about why can't he just call me by my full name, which is Rosalind, yeah? And No, you can't call me Rosalind. Nobody called me Rosalind. Nobody in this, like, I've had like 2 exes call me Rosalind, and that is it. Oh, actually, Dapper calls me Rosalind.
Yeah.
too. Dapper is allowed to call me
Yeah.
Rosalind, not whatever he wants. He calls me Rosalind, but
Yeah.
it's fine. But even my mum doesn't call me. So I was just like, no, call me Ro. When I say he was going on for like 30 minutes about why he...
I hate people like that. I'm so sorry, but like, you call me what I tell you to call me.
Exactly. And
Respect
I just feel
that.
like... because Nana calls me Rosie on the podcast, when people see me out, they're calling me Rosie too. And just no.
Yeah.
You guys call me Rosie, please. That it's not something that I resonate with, so just call me Ro.
Yeah. She came to me with, or us rather, with, with that. And initially I was just like, what? We've been friends for 8 years, and I'm so used to calling you Rosie.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, this is something that I'm going to think about. It's like, when people are like change their pronouns, and then you're so used to calling them one thing, or even their name, like their dead name or whatever. You're so used to calling them that, and then you have to switch over, because obviously you're going to take some time, and thinking about it, but. You have to respect.
You got to respect the pronouns, the names, the whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, there will always be a Rosie inside of me. Do you know what I mean? And even like our friend Lyra is non-binary, but we always call Lyra she. And so I have been trying to take more of conscious effort to call Lyra they them pronouns, and Lyra doesn't really mind. And I think that not minding comes from you can give your loved ones grace. I think that's where it comes from.
I think so.
You're just like, do you know what? They don't mean it. It didn't mean any harm by it. So you just don't say anything.
Yeah.
But then after a while, you do have to put your foot down. Do you know what I mean?
do. And
this is who you are. This is who you are.
I agree, because I think with Lyra, they've said that, it's okay, because they know that we know them, and, we know them pretty well. So we just know their identity. And so that's like, we don't put expectations on their identity because we know them. And I think that's why. But also, I want them to be called whatever they want to be called.
Yeah, I want
like,
it to be
whatever
comfortable.
whatever they feel comfortable with. So.
And again, when we do it in spaces that are out, spaces that are not our group chat, spaces that are not our group of friends. We might go out and be like, oh, she. And then it makes other people say she. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
We got to just respect it. You know what I'm saying? We've got to respect it.
Yeah, we've got to respect it. So, guys, you've heard here firsthand, call her Ro. Okay?
Thank you. And my pronouns are she, they pronouns.
Yeah.
I'm all right with she. Do you know what I'm saying? Cool.
And if that changes, we'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll update you if that changes.
Yes.
That But we've been away for 2 weeks.
Yes, we have been away. Sorry, guys, that we've been away. The first week was totally me. I was having a very bad week. So I've spoken about this before. I have PMDD, which is premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Yep, that's what it's called. And it's basically PMS, but it's on steroids. And it happens before period. So maybe like a week or 2 before the period, you feel depressed, you feel really agitated, you feel like you might have suicidal ideation. Sorry, trigger warning, you might have suicidal ideations. And so like, it's really tough. So I had a really, really bad week. And then Ro was just like, do you know what? Take some time. Take time.
I thought we didn't need to record that week. Just coming to force performance.
Yeah, performance.
That's the worst thing. So, but you know, Nana did send me a video about PMDD that week to have like an insight, because when Nana is in her PMDD week, Nana isolates.
Yeah, I do.
Like you completely go, like we barely hear from Nana. We check in, we know Nana's cool. If someone needs us, Nana's gonna tell us she needs us. But I did get a video from Nana, and it was really interesting because the person was basically vlogging
while they were having episodes.
They were basically, I don't know how they had the energy to do that. But good for them to do that. And I looked in the comments. Do you know, I feel like I was more invested in the comments than the video. The amount of people that go through it.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that were actually going currently in the episode.
While commenting. Yeah.
And I felt like that means there's not much visibility, but they can't relate to things. For you to be going through that and be online looking for other people who are going through it too means you want some answers. Do you know what I mean? So I just felt like, all these people in the comments are really going through it this as they're commenting.
Yeah.
But it was very eye-opening to see, because obviously you always isolate yourself. So it was eye-opening to see what it actually is.
Right, yeah. It's insane because like I think I've had it for a long time, but they do say like towards your like late 20s, that's when it gets worse. Like from mid to late 20s, that's when it gets worse. And it's just like, it's a really like dark space to be in. And it's weird because like a lot of people that have periods have it. Like some people might not know, but they're saying it's like
bare people have it.
1 in 20, which is a lot.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? And I think there's just like little done about it, little research. When you go to the GP, they offer you antidepressants, and obviously that's not like for everyone. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's really, really tough. It's just like you just want to be in bed and you're crying for no reason. There's no reason for you to be crying. But I think I've found a way to handle it because I have had suicidal ideation, and I think when I'm out of the episode and I think about it, I'm just like, do you actually really not want to be here? Do you really want to unalive yourself? And it's like, no, I don't. I actually like my life. I like my family, my friends.
PMDD.
It's just that time.
Yeah.
And so like having that in the back of my head makes it easier because it's like, okay, once my period comes,
you'll be fine.
I'll be fine mentally.
Yeah.
Physically, no, but that's another story. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. So like if anybody has those kind of symptoms, then they can actually know that it is real, it's a thing, it's not like a normal feeling, and that you should just seek help. You should talk to people, talk to, medical professionals, and
definitely. And I just want to say, like, shout out to the person we saw on the bus. We were getting off the bus. When was going to the Amapiano.
Right, yes. Yeah, the listener
said we were off sick.
They were like, where's the next episode? I was like, we're off sick. We not recording.
That was literally, Nana just came out.
Yeah, I just came out.
That was her coming out of PMDD that day. Me and Lara dragged her out. We're like, we're going out. Where did me and Lara go again?
To a live show, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did so I did a live podcast for Your Aunties Could Never podcast. And I've been on their podcast before as well, so check that out. Check out that episode. It was like they're really nice bunch of women, bunch of aunties. It's actually a bunch of aunties. That's why it's called Your Aunties Could Never.
Yeah.
And we did a live show there, and it's so interesting because I'm usually in queer spaces, like things like that. I'm usually in spaces of other queer creatives, and I feel like I was the only gay, and it's just so interesting. Yeah, it's so interesting to see. There's always this. The energy is different. Like, you know how we create safe spaces for ourselves. Yeah, I do to some extent think straight people create safe spaces for themselves, because sometimes love them. I do love them, but sometimes there was little moments where I'm just like, not from the women from the actual podcast, but from other people, maybe like one or two of the guests or the audience, and things that they wouldn't say if they knew that a gay person was there.
Right, yeah.
And not that they said anything homophobic or anything, but it's always like touching the line a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
But I think like all groups do that. Don't you think like men might sit in the room and say something about a woman that's not right? Do you know what I mean?
Those are their safe spaces.
Yeah.
Like really talk about the things that they want to speak about.
Yeah.
Sometimes those things we want to speak about is offensive to other communities.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. But I just found the whole day, it was a lot of fun. I just found the whole day very interesting because, again, I haven't not really been out this year. So I went out, social environment. I already had Lara there with me, and it was after I was like, I was like to Lara, how was it? And she said, it's very straight. And I was just like, yeah, it was very straight, wasn't it? We're just not used to it, that's all.
Yeah, we're not used to it because we go to straight spaces or like, inclusive spaces, but it's still very inclusive. Like,
when something's very straight, I don't know, just something in the air that is different.
We know. And I typically avoid those spaces, like say if it's like, a night out or something like that, I typically avoid those spaces because it doesn't feel comfortable. I guess obviously like a live podcast show is very different, but yeah, like spaces like that, usually I avoid.
Yeah, like even somebody from work was asking me, she's from Leicester and she now lives in London, and she was like, oh, like where is there to go out in London? And she's queer as well. She's a quite white queer woman. And I just automatically thought, do you know, when I think about the queer spaces I go to, I still don't think that she would have a good time there. And then I thought about the straight places I go to or the non-queer places I go to, and I still don't think there's something for everyone. There's just something for everybody. And I think that she'll be okay to go to places that are a little bit homophobic because some people just don't care. And then that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But me, I care. I'm a sensitive babe. I'm going to get offended and I'm going to react when I get offended. Or I've become a bit non-reactional these days. But
yeah, it's a bit of balance, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of balance. But yeah, that was that. What else have we been up to? Oh yeah, our awards.
Yeah, so we went to the Visionary Arts Awards, and just want to say a huge thanks to Visionary Arts for nominating us, because it was amazing. Fortunately, we didn't win. Fern Cotton won, and congratulations to her. Our category was up first, and I was so like, oh my god, like
we were up first.
We're up first, and yeah,
that's the first time we've been nominated for an award and attended award
Yeah.
ceremony. And we were nominated alongside some other amazing podcasts. We were a Media Storm podcast, Tea Time podcast. Shout out to Kaz and Cole.
Yes.
Also Transvisionary. It was Trans Visibility Week this week, yesterday even.
Mhm.
So shout out to them. Chinese Chippy Girl, Happy Place podcast, which is Fern Cotton's podcast, Tutu's podcast, and also Lassie Asata's Chant and Other Histories. And the thing about podcasting, you always hear about other podcasts. So all of these podcasts, I was familiar with every single one of them beforehand. Whether I listened to them or not, I was familiar.
Yeah.
There's not that many podcasts. And I think that when you are at different levels of podcasting, you always branched with kind of similar podcasts. Not similar to yourselves, but similar that you're branched with. And yeah, so I have seen their podcast around before. We did get to meet, we didn't see the Asata's Chant host because we heard that this is not their kind of thing to attend. But shout out to them. I know we didn't get to meet them, but everybody else we met. We didn't meet Fern, but Fern did message us on IG afterwards. She was there. She got her award. But do you know what? Yeah, there was a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I think there was a lot to say about that. I think the awards is, that specific award is like amazing. Like that awards ceremony is amazing. The way that they are trying to, prop up people that are doing amazing things that might not be recognized otherwise and stuff like that. I do think it's like there was the other categories were also amazing. They had like obviously like best like film, best documentary, and it was amazing. Like for Black Boys, the writer for Black Boys won, I think, best writer. And it was like there was a lot of people that we thought was just amazing in that one.
And there was a lot of queer. There was just a lot of queer representation.
Yeah, there was a lot of queer representation.
Like, it was nice to see two trans men up.
Yeah,
Travis was up as well.
Yeah, but like it was just like amazing just to see like the lineups and stuff. I do think that there's a mixture of people with different sort of like audiences or the number of audiences and people who are like a bit more successful or who've had more time being successful mixed in with categories with people who are just coming up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that is a fair playing ground, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, when our nominations came out, we knew that Fern was going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Fern Cotton.
It is Fern
She's a household name in the UK.
Yeah, she is.
Like, she didn't even repost the thing, because I looked at her social. She didn't even repost for people to vote for her.
But she's got obviously a
billions of
wide
followers,
audience. You know what I mean?
Like, I know that it's not good to think like that, but you have to be realistic sometimes. She was going to win that. She was going to win that.
Yeah.
We were just happy to be there.
We were happy to be there. And not to say that she's undeserving of that award. She is. I think she is, because like her podcast is about like wellness and mental health and stuff like that. And these are really important topics, you know what I mean? So like, but nuance in it. Like there's a lot of nothing is ever black and white. But yeah, no, it was a good experience though.
Yeah,
it was nice to be, there just amongst loads of amazing
I mean,
people.
Naomi Campbell was sitting behind us.
Got I think she got like an honorary award.
Yeah, she won
being
like Visionary of the Year. Something like legend. Nominated legend.
Yeah.
One of them kind of ones. Yeah, she won that, and
absolutely stunning. By the way,
she is buff.
She is absolutely stunning.
Huh?
Stunning. Obviously, she got money, but
still. Listen, obviously Naomi Campbell has always been stunning. Do you know what I mean? But seeing her in flesh, was another top stunning.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
yeah.
She. Ciao.
But yeah, it was great.
It was good. Shout out to Kwajo. Kwajo won as well. He's been doing amazing stuff with the housing stuff that he does, with just social housing and how it's been really bad in the country. He's also done it abroad as well. Oh. Yeah, he's actually gone abroad on TV now doing that. Judy Love won Best Documentary.
Yeah.
That was nice to see a black plus-size woman win that.
Great.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Who else won awards? Yeah, it was just good. Oh, Jermaine Defoe was also sitting behind us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was good. It was a good experience. It was nice to go to. It was a good little midweek motive as well. Like,
yeah, it was.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
What have I been up to since then? Oh, we've been up to. We did a panel.
Oh, we did a panel this week. I
Yeah.
forgot. How could I forget? Because it was really, really good. We did a panel on Thursday at Tortoise, which is a newsroom like company, and so it was like an after work sort of situation, and it was a packed like full house.
It was like good, like 100 people.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was about 100 people, and I think just the atmosphere and the aura, like straight from when we walked in,
It was good. Good vibes.
Great vibes. Like every single person that we met, like the host Liz, like Lydia, who she organizes these events, like just amazing vibes. Yeah,
It was great vibes. And the thing is, we didn't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And I definitely didn't know what to expect because Nana's been.
I was one doing the emails.
Yeah, so I definitely didn't know what to expect, but. We got there, it was good vibes. There was wine on deck.
Yeah.
The wine wasn't even finished in our glass.
They were topping up.
They were topping it up. But the actual panel itself, the audience, I want to say, I think that was probably the most whitest and oldest audience we've ever done a panel to, but it was one of the best.
One of the best.
It was so different to who we are.
Yeah.
Even with the straightest, we spoke. I said something about tribbing, and nobody reacted, and that's when I knew nobody in this audience knows what tribbing is, and. One of the ladies later on asked a question, was like, what's tribbing? And the host not want to answer.
No, yeah.
And you could just tell that all really want to know what tribbing was.
Yeah.
So towards the end, there was like mixing and mingling, and the lady came up to me and was like, I googled it. And it was just, they just seemed really invested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of them have since followed us on social media. And I would say it's top 2 panels we've ever done.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, it was such a good time.
Yeah.
The host was amazing. And also we were on with a couple as well, who are a married couple who have a documentary out called Husband. And they were good vibes.
Such good vibes.
Yeah. Joshua.
Yeah.
Great vibes. He's on the sofa.
Yeah.
And his wife. It was just a really good panel to do, and and again a nice midweek motive.
It was a lovely midweek motive, and I just wasn't like as Rose said, we didn't know what to expect, but like sometimes when you don't know what to expect, like it surprises you. These things surprise you.
And do you know what the biggest surprise of that day was? So Sarah, Duchess of York, was also on the panel after us. I didn't really clock that she was going to be in the panel until the week.
Yeah, do you know what? The way I take in information is like on a need to know basis.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of stuff going on. So sometimes I take information in when I need to know.
Yeah, like Royal was going to be there. We didn't
really take that in until like the day of, when I posted on my social media that we was going to do the panel.
I think I really deeped it when we got there because her books were there in abundance.
Yeah, her books were there.
And everybody, there was this buzz in the room, and it explained the audience because they were there for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She had this. She was launching her book, and I think it's like is it a sex fantasy?
Well, I think it's about like love, but it's it's like a period, period literature and about love, and there's some sex in it.
Raunchy.
It's a bit raunchy, for a royal, but
but she was surprising.
She was
she was talking. I said to Nana, I think she's a Libra. So I asked her afterwards. I spoke to her, and I said, "Are you a Libra?" And she was like, "Yes, I am." And it was just like.
It made a lot
she
of
was
sense.
dropping so many gems when she was talking, and I just didn't expect to resonate with anything she had to say.
I would
again,
never.
it was so different.
I would never expect to like resonate with a royal.
Never. I never expected it. But you know
but
what?
She's a human being.
She's up there on Diana level. Like, I mean,
that's why our parents love Fergie, because my mum's always like Fergie, and I'm just like, I know nothing about her. Do you know what I mean? I know about Lady Diana because she died early, I guess, and there was all this like
there was a lot around.
Yeah, there's a lot around it, and then people never stopped talking about her just because she died so like young. But
Andrew never deserved Fergie. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put it out there. Andrew never deserved
absolutely
Fergie.
not, absolutely not. And do you know what like struck me about what she was saying was that she, on her wedding day, so they had like obviously these throwback pictures of her wedding that they put up while she was talking, and she was just like, she at that time she was her true self, and then after that wedding marriage she lost herself, like in that
6 years.
in that marriage she lost herself, and obviously like the media were brutal and abusive to her just as they were to Diana and Meghan Markle. And it's just like, I didn't even know that stuff. Like, think about being in a prison for like all those years. That's insane. And now she's finally free.
I remember seeing over the years, there was like a journalist who recorded her speaking about Andrew. And I think she got paid to go meet up. I don't know, but they basically baited her out and put the recording on the news and
Right.
stuff like that. So that is when she got blackballed from the family when that came out, because she wasn't blowing shit up.
Yeah.
And I love that for her. I love that she's now been able to reclaim herself.
Mhm.
And a lot of what she was saying, going through, like losing herself, I can relate to that.
It's
like,
human. It's a human
yeah.
thing, isn't it? Like, and that's why we was like, oh yeah, we didn't think we would relate to a royalist, but like, she's a human at the end of the day. She's a human being, and she was just so lovely and so witty. And I just didn't think she would be like as warm as she is.
Yeah.
And that was a nice surprise. And she signed our
Even when
book.
she left, she made sure she said bye to everyone.
She did.
Leave.
She looked at everybody
She
and
looked
said
at
bye.
everybody and said bye.
Yeah.
Like we took pictures with her. She signed our books. I signed it for my mom. And yeah, it was nice.
Yeah. It was nice.
And she calls herself Gigi. Like, her grandchildren call her Gigi. And I can see she's a cool grandma. I can see it.
I see that she's a cool grandma as well. Like, yeah. So that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I didn't think I'd come in on Tuesday's podcast to talk about how great a royal was. But here we are. Do you know what I mean?
I know, talking about it. But yeah. Shall we talk about the Uganda? We're dropping the tone a bit, because Uganda they've got an anti-LGBT law that they're trying to pass. So basically, the big dogs, I don't know how their politics is set up, but the big dogs have voted for this, LGBT anti-LGBT law, and it's going to go to the president. For him,
2 people opposed it.
Only 2 people.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people, and it's going to the president for him to either veto it or agree to it. So
that's really sad. It's really sad.
It's up to him.
I feel like Uganda is one of the most homophobic countries.
Yeah.
So whenever like someone is queer and they're Ugandan, I'm always
scared for them. I'm always surprised if they're open.
Yeah.
Always surprised when they're open, because I just know, like, I even know firsthand my ex-girlfriends from Uganda, and that was a honestly brutal situation. Like, I think it was just insane, like, what happened. But I'm always surprised when they're open, and when they're thinking about coming out, I'm always like a bit scared for them. Yeah.
When it comes to Ugandans, I think it's especially because I think your ex was the first time I've seen
that firsthand,
what actually could happen.
Yeah.
And I think that she probably got a good compared to how people do. Do you know what I mean? Like, because the way that Uganda is so, like, toxically,
it's so irrational.
It's just,
do you know what? There was a time where I think it was a president, I don't know if it was the current president or a previous president, that came up and said that he's banning like oral sex. Like, do you remember that? That was a few years ago, banning.
Are people in Uganda receiving good healthcare? Are people in Uganda receiving the best education they can? What about, is there a homeless issue?
What about employment?
What about the things that are actually going to help your citizens of the country? And that goes for all of these countries that are trying to pass these dumb laws. Like, in all these countries, I don't think it's a coincidence that their actual citizens are struggling.
Yeah.
Some of the most struggling people in the whole world.
Right.
And they choose to pick these dumb subjects as a distraction from what's really going on in their country. You put so much energy
and effort into this, on hating.
It gets me angry.
Yeah.
It just gets me angry. And like the poor, I just can't stop thinking about the poor Ugandan queer people who have to walk to the shop every day. And like, I can't imagine the fear that they're going through.
Fear, because they go through a lot. There are people that attack them. There are people that are, like, there's correctional, trigger warning, there's correctional rape, for like queer women. There's people that attack them, people that would strip them naked, like all these
so inhumane.
It is inhumane things. And it just sets a tone that is okay for people to do that. Like,
doesn't it?
You're stripping people of basic human rights, and I just think that is appalling, absolutely appalling, and that it's actually scary as well. And like, obviously, having the experience that I had with my ex, after that I thought I wouldn't go to Uganda. Like, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
It's a place that I wouldn't.
I wouldn't go to. Even if they didn't pass this bill, like,
I
just to know how toxic it is for someone like us. Do you know what? I'm sure Uganda is an absolutely beautiful country. I'm sure all these things, but it's just unsafe for queer people.
Yeah.
And to the Ugandans that actually live there, or Ugandans who are in households even in this country, but because of this bill, their parents are extra homophobic because of it. Like, our heart goes out to you, honestly. Like, I just hope that you find some strength in something community.
Yeah.
And like, just move past this somehow. Just even move past this. It sounds like I'm even insulting you by saying that, but
it's hard. It is hard, and I feel really really sad about that. It's just like it just feels like it's just honestly like a step back. And
it's 2023, you know.
It doesn't make any sense.
It makes no
we're
sense.
big 23, and these things are like still happening. And as you said, like it's a huge distraction. There's so many things that they could be, focusing on, putting their time and effort in. Do you know what I mean? That are more important than who a person chooses to love.
Yeah.
And they've chosen to make it a mission to strip, away human rights of queer people. And I think it's really, really sad. So yeah, my heart also goes out to people that live there and have to deal with this shit on a daily basis. It's so unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to like the anti-LGBT bill
in Ghana, but nothing happened.
But nothing really happened to it.
And do you know what? It's funny because Ellie did say because I was obviously complaining about it.
At the time, like that.
She was like, she was like, nothing's gonna happen. She was like, I bet you nothing's gonna happen from this. And I'm sure like things do still happen, like with the violence and stuff. But in terms of the bill, that's what she meant. Like,
gonna
happen. But
So, but the Ugandan one, you can't even identify. It's not even about a sexual act.
Yeah.
You just can't even identify.
Do you know what also upsets me is the fact that if you so in the bill, if you don't rat out a person that's queer, you can get in trouble for that. Do you know how sad that is? And then what if someone says, "Oh, this person accuses somebody of being queer," and they're not even
they're not even gay? Then what? Nah, it just creates such a toxic environment.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
But outside of that as well, in America, a trans man did shoot up a school.
Yeah, in Nashville, Tennessee.
And I mean, I feel like the fact that it's a trans man is not the issue here, but that's what the media are.
Oh, absolutely.
The fact that this person has gone. They legally bought the guns.
Yeah,
they've gone to legally buy guns and been able to just go up in a school and shoot up the place.
Yeah,
this is something that happens in America way too often. I don't see this happening in any country but America. Like it happens. So this issue, it's an issue with America. It's not to do the fact
their
that
gun laws.
Trans. All of a sudden, ban trans people. When all these straight people have gone in, and then or cis-het people have gone in, and it's never banned cis-het people.
Yeah,
when a trans man does it. It's about the fact that the focus is on him being trans.
Yeah,
and instead of the fact that America has these disgusting, very loose gun laws that allow people to go to school and shoot children.
This school was like a primary school kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like I just think it's
insane. It's insane.
But of course, they want their rights to be able to carry weapons. And I
don't know why. Why do you want to carry a gun? I don't get it.
I don't understand.
They said
it's their law, their God-given right to carry gun.
If you're American, can you please?
We want to understand
why you want to carry a gun. It's something that's so alien to me.
But it dates so back to their like amendments that I don't believe it can change. I don't know. But like it is so dated and it just doesn't make sense.
Jaquan from Atlanta cares about the amendments. He was carried that young. He don't care about no amendment. Do you think Gary from Tennessee cares about amendments? They just want to carry a gun.
You know what? Exactly. And I think it's so weak. I just think it's as bad as like, like something like slavery, like that became abolished a long time ago. Why can't the same be done for like, someone can pick up a gun and go and shoot someone?
I don't understand how you can just go to the shop and buy a gun. You can go to the petrol station and buy a gun. You can go to I don't understand how you can walk into a shop. Can you imagine going to the shop around the corner
and buying a
gun from Bossman?
No.
Can you imagine?
Dude, that's how far removed it is from our culture and society here in the UK, because it's just like, I think that's absolutely wild. The only way you can get a gun here is like, I don't know, black market or whatever they do here.
Yeah,
like,
you can't go
to a shop and register, but put your details down and buy a gun like that.
And maybe if you go buy a hunting gun, that is different. But even that I've never seen in the shop. I don't know how they get hunting guns, but there's no shop within our vicinity that you can go to go and buy a hunting gun. Yeah, but let alone a 9-inch caliber, whatever you call them.
You're a rifle child.
I don't get it. I just don't understand. Like even an old friend of mine was living in the States, and she would just be turn around and be like, "Oh, I was in an Uber, and I went out. I got an Uber with this girl, and she had a gun." She'd just be out with new people that she's met, and they just have guns on them, and it's like they're going to a club. Security has checked, they have a gun, but they're allowed to carry the gun, so they're allowed to bring it to the club.
I've heard some, but that's why I like all these like club shootings happen and stuff like that, people are allowed to carry gun in the club.
I don't understand.
What?
Shooting a gun kills. Guns
It does a lot of
equal to violence.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage though. When you think about
Yeah.
it, like, you know, I just don't understand how.
The only thing that results to gun usage is violence, unless you're standing in the gun shooting range. Where you're shooting. But even that, if you accidentally violence, I don't
get it.
I don't get it.
It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe just so far removed from our culture,
Yeah,
we're not gonna understand.
We're not gonna understand. But yeah.
If you're American, please enlighten us.
Yeah.
And if you carry a gun, why?
Why do you?
What's the reason?
Yeah.
That's not protection. That's not bad enough excuse.
Because if no one carried a gun, then there wouldn't be any need for any protection. Like, I just think it's ridiculous. Sorry.
And you got the media misgendering.
Yeah,
this person.
misgendering.
It doesn't matter what somebody has done. If their pronouns are their pronouns. I feel like people want to take away some respect for people when they've done something crazy, which I do understand. I do get it. However, if a cis-het man went and shot up a primary school, which has happened plenty of times before, by the way, the media are not now going to report him as a woman. It's just just don't.
Yeah.
So why are you doing it for trans people? If their pronouns are he, him, then when you report about him, you put he, him. You don't put at the end on their pronouns on their social media.
I thought that was really, really ridiculous. Absolutely. Oh, on their social media they go by he, they, he, him.
It's not a social media thing. That's the identity thing.
That's weird.
I don't even want to give any respect to this person that did that because I think they're trash. I think they're disgusting. I think they're insane.
Yeah.
However, their pronouns are he, him.
Absolutely.
They just are.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, that's let us know what you think about that. It's very I mean, there's two parts to this, isn't it? So use the hashtag Tutu's podcast. Let us know what you think about this. It's just crazy. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about lip-syn, the art of lip-syn, and
I put in a group chat the other day.
Yeah.
I said I miss lip-syn.
Oh yeah. So how long has it been since you were? Well, you don't need to say exactly when, but it's been a while.
No, it's been about since late December, early Jan.
You're right.
Early Jan. I haven't lipped since early Jan.
Yeah, and you miss lip-syn. Lip-syn is great, guys.
I feel like my lip muscles are going.
Lip-syn is great, and I definitely feel like it's a bit of a lost art form sometimes. And I also think that as a person with feminine energy, no matter the sex you were assigned with at birth, as a person with feminine energy, if you can't lips, then there's something really wrong.
There's a few people that can't lips. There are people who can't lips. I've had a few experiences of people who can't lips.
How does that make you feel?
It just makes me feel really deflated about life. Do you know what I mean?
About life.
I just feel like when you go to lip somebody, you're meant to just have it's just meant to feel great. And then when somebody, it's just a really flattening experience.
It is a flattening experience.
It's like, oh, okay. Especially if you had a good time prior. Like imagine you go on a date, a first date, and you have such a good time.
And you find them so attractive.
And then they just can't lips. It just, I should just stayed at my house.
Do you think that you would tell them that?
I've never told anyone they can't lips.
Like, where would you even start? Like, how would you even say it? Like, yeah, that's a bit awkward. I've
never told anyone they can't lips. I might just say what I don't. No, you can't even say that. If we haven't had sex, I can't even say we're not sexually compatible. But
I feel like sometimes you can tell, like, if the lip-syn is not good, sometimes you can tell that the sex is not going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't have sex with this person, but do you remember that person I lipsed? I can't even say when I lipsed them because it's going to be
I think, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I lipped somebody and I think it's one of the worst lips I've ever had. I think it was up there as bottom 3 lips.
Oh, no.
And it wasn't even the fact there was passion from them anyway. There wasn't much from me because they couldn't lip. So I was just thinking, what's going on? But I was still lipsing them, which I shouldn't have done. And they were really going for it, but there wasn't much tongue movement. Not that you have to have tongue in every single lip.
No, you don't.
But this particular one, it's like they were even holding back the tongue. They were holding it back, and the lips weren't really moving.
Yeah, because I hate that shit. When your lips is just there on my lip. Why is it just there on my lip? Get off me. Get off me now.
So that we can
Fam,
say we can't lips.
Get off me. Why your lip just there? Like, just move it. be moving the lips.
And the thing is, that some of the best lips you don't even have to have big lips, because some people have lips don't have,
and they can still
but
use what they have.
They're working with what they have. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I had a situation where like I really fancied this girl, and obviously we had a lot of chemistry and stuff like that. But when we went to lips, it wasn't great. No, and then I thought, is it me? I thought, is it me? Like I was
thinking, I know who you're talking about.
Well, there's two people, but
I'm done.
It was, and I was just like, is it me like that can't lips? I was actually even doubting my own skills. Do you know what I mean? Like it was definitely them. It wasn't me. But then I do also feel like, just like, it's sex and compatibility. I feel like there's compatibility in kissing as well. And
yeah, there is.
Some people enjoy that kiss that they're offering.
Do you know what? There is someone I lipsed. When I first lipsed them, it was all over the place. There's lots of different kinds of rubbish lipsing. People can do a lot.
Yeah.
This person was doing a lot. It was slobbering everywhere. There wasn't much rhythm going on. And they were just bagam. Do you know what I mean? But then I really fancied them, so I continued to go there, and it wasn't stiff. I think you can work with it if it's not stiff. You can find the rhythm together.
Yeah.
So anyway, then they're one of the best people I've lips now,
because you taught them.
I think we found the rhythm. We found the pulse.
You're right about if it's not stiff, then there's something to work with. I think if it's stiff, then there's nothing to work with. There's no movement. There's no movement because it's just stiff. It's just there. Like, but I think that if there is if there is rhythm and movement, then there is something to work with. But also, it's a balance, isn't it? Because you don't want it to be too much and too wet. And I hate it when it's too wet. Like, I like tongue, I like, proper lips in, but when it's too wet,
no.
Why am I, when you move apart, I've got
do you know when your lips are moving apart, and you know when the saliva is...
It's just...
No. But I do miss lipsing a lot. Do you know what? I wouldn't. I was going to say I would take a stiff lips, because no,
you wouldn't.
No, the next lips, it needs to be fantastic.
Can you tell when someone's going to be a good kisser?
I think I can, but I think that sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah, sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised. But I haven't lips in so long that maybe I wouldn't be able to tell now.
That's a bit sad.
Yeah.
I do feel like the art of lipsing is long. But you know what? Like, I feel like maybe back in the day, people used to sit there and lips more. But I don't think we're doing that these days, and especially in our old age. Like, I'm not just sitting there lipsing.
People are lipsing enough. People are lipsing and touching thigh, then putting fingers somewhere.
Yeah,
and then before you know it, your lips are somewhere else.
Yeah,
pretty
quickly. It escalates. It escalates really quickly. But I'm sure back in the day, like when we weren't having sex, we was just there lipsing.
Yeah.
But now, obviously, we're older now. These days, I don't just lips to lips.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm leaving with certain.
I don't think I've lipsed just
the lips
for a long time. It always ends up in in a couple months ago, I did I was lipsing somebody and we didn't have sex.
Really?
That's I wanted to.
I think I know.
But she was like, no, we need to wait till next time. So you gotta respect it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course,
Yeah, so just wait. So we just lipsed.
Right. Okay. I remember my ex-girlfriend used to be like, "Can we just lips?" And I'd be like, "Why? Like if we're lipsing, we're fucking."
Going forward, I'm gonna just lips.
Okay, that's good, because I feel like obviously you do the celibacy thing, and now you could just take time, innit? Yeah. Take time.
It's gonna come in stages.
Yeah,
in stages. Kitty ain't opening for nobody. Even if they open them lips, these lips, the mouth lips, the bottom lips.
Yeah.
No surprise.
No surprises. I remember going on a date. I met someone, I think it was off Facebook, this guy, and this was when I was 14, and I think it was 18, and I went to Catford to link him. Catford's very far from Hackney, by the way.
Why was he linking someone who's 14, please?
I even got the bus, because back in the day, 14, I didn't have to take the train.
It's true,
it's actually true. And that's Catford was South East London. That was a long time ago as well. So took the bus, went to see him, and went to the park, as you do, when you're 14, and was lipsing, and the way his whole mouth just covered my face like this, and it was the worst kiss ever. It was wet, it was slobberish, it wasn't.
Was that the worst lips you've ever?
Probably the worst lips I've ever had, and it was from a guy, and I feel like guys.
The worst lips I've had was from a guy too.
Yeah.
The worst one was from this guy. He was a church boy though, so I feel like I didn't have that much experience. If I even tell you about what happened, story time. So I went to his uni to go and see him, and he how old was I? I must have been at college or something. I went to uni to go and see him,
Right.
and he we spoke about lip-sync. We spoke about all this stuff we're gonna do, yeah. And so I went there, cool. And within like minutes, yep, he was like, yep, we're doing this. So then we lipsed. He put his whole mouth, he put my whole lips in his mouth.
Yeah, that's what the
So
guy
he
did from
sucked
Catford.
my lips. And I'm thinking, but I couldn't even move, my lips couldn't move because he had my lips in a chokehold in his mouth. And I'm thinking, what is this? It was worse. I just wanted to go home. But I'm in Kent.
Right.
His uni was in Kent.
Right.
So I'm staying the night. And then whatever. So anyway, now it came down to the sex. He was thrusting. He thought that his penis was in my vagina, but it wasn't.
Oh no.
He was just thrusting. He thrusting air, but he thought that he was inside somewhere. No.
That's awkward, isn't it?
And until this day, I think he thinks that we had sex. But we didn't.
We didn't have sex.
Yeah, I think he thinks we had sex, but we didn't. And I was okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I was absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's good that you didn't say, "Oh, it's not in," because then he would have tried to actually get it in.
No, I didn't even want that. The lips was a struggle. It's just funny because as a young girl dating these men, you just can't really open your mouth and be like, I don't want to. I don't know what it is, but
it's true.
I'm so glad to be out of that life.
I'm so glad to be out of that.
But it was just, when I think about it, it's like I should just went home. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't. I wasn't enjoying myself, so I should just went home.
Yeah.
But because you want to feel like you want the man to feel fulfilled and whatever, you just stay there.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's happened a lot with guys, like, just being inappropriate and doing things they're not supposed to. I remember back in the day, like in our area, like I used to like have these friends, these girls, these guys. The guys used to be so annoying, like everything was just sexual and everything was just like inappropriate and just like there was just no consent. So to just go around even do nipple cripple, when you go and squeeze the nipple. Like, a silly thing, and just touching things that they, shouldn't be touching and trying to lips you when you don't want to lips them. And oh Lord, it was a whole thing back in the day. Like, I just hope things are different now with like our kids.
I mean, my child is currently at a fun fair for me.
Yeah,
I hope none of that's going on.
And I hope none of that goes on with my niece. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, scary stuff. But yeah, lips in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a compatibility thing. But I don't think it's always the case that if the lips are bad, the sex is going to be bad. Because I've actually experienced that. The sex was actually all right. But the lips wasn't great.
A good little starter.
Yeah,
when they give you 3 wings, innit? For a starter.
Free wings meal.
Do you know what I hate? Yeah, when you go for starters are always an odd number. When you go to eat out in a restaurant, a date or something, and the two of you, why are the wings always
free? There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
How are we gonna share this? How are we gonna split this?
Or it's 5 wings. Why is it not an even number?
It doesn't make sense because I want you to buy more. I hate it.
Yeah. Also, before we end, we've got like 10 minutes left. Girl them.
Yeah, they went into administration.
Yeah, they've gone into administration, and I think a lot of people have been sharing like a lot of articles that like they resonated with, or articles that they really enjoyed. And one article that has stuck with me, yeah, I'll have to say, is there was an article about where this woman said she noticed that white women don't move out the way.
Oh my God, I remember that from back in the day.
Yes. And I always remember this, yeah?
Yeah.
Like you'd be on the tube or you'd be walking on the
platform.
And white women never moved. So this person who wrote this article decided to take up space.
Right.
She just has on the
She didn't move.
And she noticed that day she was barged by white women all the time. And since the article, me too, I take up space. So sometimes I think it's just our immediate reaction to like move out the way. And you even say, oh, sorry, when you're moving. When they're in your way, you say sorry to them. And then, so I do it sometimes. Sometimes, if I'm walking somewhere, I don't move. I don't move. And they always look at me. I know they're looking at me like this. Oh, this is ghetto. Yeah. Especially if I've got one of these hats on, chow.
Yeah, no, I do like, I don't know if it's... Do you know what it is? It was definitely a thing. It wasn't just like something that was in our heads. Like,
no, it's a thing.
Was definitely like people expected us to move.
And I think a lot of people that read it felt like, shit, this is my experience every day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was white women expecting like other people just to move out the way for them. And I think it's just, it must be a subconscious thing where just the world, like how they move through the world, like, you know.
And the thing is, this article came out before we're speaking about Karens.
Yeah.
This is before.
Yeah.
So it's not even, I don't think it's a coincidence that we all have the same experience from white women.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's all white women. If you're a white woman and you listen to this podcast, think about it. When you're walking down the street and you're walking opposite, especially another black woman or somebody or anybody, do you move out the way for them or do they move out the way for you? Deep it. Just
think
deep
about it. Like,
Like,
next time when you're actually doing it, like, be conscious about it.
yeah, be conscious because this is something that we are very much aware of when we're walking down the street. And 90% of the time, you are the one who moves out the way.
Yeah.
90% of the time.
100%.
Girl.
100%. But yeah, that's really funny. But yeah, Galdem's going into administration, and it did a lot for the culture. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those publications.
We're taking up space on the pavement.
Yeah. It's one of those publications that I think, like, within the, the culture, the black, female, femme, queer culture, it's something that we're always going to remember. Like, as a publication, I think, like, Liv and whoever else was involved at the time did amazing, with that publication. I think we'll always remember it. And it was, although like it's come to an end, it definitely served us. And be great.
And I think it served us at a good time.
Yeah, when we needed it. When we needed it. When we needed a voice, like, to speak up for us when we probably couldn't speak up for ourselves. That publication was there. And so, I
think Galdem has been a driving force for providing visibility for all types of black women to people who are not black women, and further to brands, to individuals. I do think that Galdem has just been a driving force to exposing our feelings, our experiences, and who we are as people. So they will never be forgotten. There's been nothing like Galdem.
Yeah, nothing like Galdem. And they were the first, and just an amazing thing that they've been able to accomplish.
Yeah, I hope that they'll all move on to do amazing things.
Yep, greener pastures.
Do you know sometimes when one door closes,
another
door opens?
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the last we're hearing from everybody. Do you know what I mean? It's a money thing. And that. I don't think we have time for that discussion. But like, access to funds for people like us, I feel like it's not a coincidence, but something that is run by black women has run out of funds. I don't think it's a coincidence. Do you know what I mean? So because at the end of the day, we are the ones who will struggle to find the budget to do things and create things, and for it to provide that longevity as well.
Yeah.
And it's mad because when we did the Tertus panel the other day, Josh, one of the other panelists as well, he said to me, there's always a rich person behind something. He's like, there's always a rich person behind everything. And he was like, I just always wonder who that person is. Right. And it's always because they wanted to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Reader's Digest. He's like, I bet there was a rich white woman somewhere that wanted to make Reader's Digest. So it is what it is. Money talks and money pushes things. Do you know what I mean? So like, inject our community with money, yo.
Inject it, and like our projects and stuff like that, inject it. And speaking of projects, I have one called the Pink Chair Records, produced by MXM Productions, my production company, with my business partner MXM, and so we produced this multi-genre music platform show called the Pink Chair Records, and it's directed by Ashley and Agnes, and I think it's amazing because it's showcasing like musicians that we might not have heard of, that might be a little bit underground, that might be upcoming.
The first two that you guys have put on, I haven't heard.
You haven't heard of them, right? And so that's what we want to do. There's definitely a vibe. There's definitely like, an atmosphere with it, and it's like, I think it's definitely needed, and it's different to what we have out there in terms of like live platforms. So please, people, go onto YouTube, search Pink Chair Records and subscribe, like, comment, and just listen to new music, because you might find artists that you haven't heard of, and that you like and enjoy. So yeah, go on YouTube, do that.
And if you're an investor, inject it.
Inject it. We need the money because the shoots are not cheap. the shoots are not cheap. Inject it. Thank you.
We need money. We need funding.
We need funding.
We need all
Absolutely.
of that. We need all of that. So what you got planned this week then?
This week, do you know what? I was supposed to get a pedicure, but I slept. Today I was sleeping.
So we're not going to go after here to get pedicure.
Should we? Do you want?
Do you know what, guys? You masculine presenting. Oh yeah, I was going to pick up a child.
Yeah.
All you masculine presenting babes, listen.
We'll talk about feet in the group chat the other day.
We'll talk about feet the other day. Did you say you like to have your toe sucked?
I don't mind it, but I prefer to do the toe sucking. I don't mind it. It feels nice.
I prefer to do the toe sucking.
Yeah, it feels nice.
But I
I've
feel
had
like
it done.
Yeah.
I've had it done and it feels nice, but I always prefer to do everything. So I prefer to do the toe sucking, and I like feet, obviously.
Yeah.
But I
don't suck any toe though. I'm doing that selective toes only.
We don't toe shame, but still. But yeah, it's been a while since I've had my feet scrubbed, and I need that quickly.
Yeah. I mean, doing at this time, I'm not gonna lie, the shops are gonna.
It's gonna be busy
still.
Yeah, but
maybe tomorrow before we go record tomorrow. We're recording again tomorrow because I'm going on holiday soon.
Yeah,
and we don't want to keep you guys waiting.
Yeah,
so we're gonna record before I go on holiday.
Yeah,
but yeah. What am I doing this week? I'm getting ready for my holiday.
I'm going to this. I got work.
I'm working this week, but I've got my intimacy coordination course tomorrow.
Yeah,
guys, I want to be an intimacy coordinator.
Yeah,
and it's just one of the things I want to do for my life.
Yeah,
there's many things I want to do. That's just one of them.
I think it's great.
And so I'm doing a course tomorrow for like the intro, and I can't wait.
Imagine like having a queer Black woman as an intimacy coordinator in the UK. Like, that's insane. If you don't know what an intimacy coordinator is, somebody who is on set for those raunchy scenes, and that helps with making like actors feel comfortable and stuff like that. So it's it's very much needed in the industry.
Yeah, since the Me Too movement,
it's
now actually compulsory for people to have an intimacy coordinator on sets. But not everyone does. But there's not many intimacy coordinators because it is a new role.
Yeah,
it's something that's quite new. Not a lot of people are trained up to be one. And again, we're talking about access to things.
Yeah.
It costs money to train up, but not everyone has the money for it.
Yeah,
so it's quite expensive. So and you have to be well connected. It was to get this. I've been waiting for this course
for what, 6 months?
No, for over a year. The first time I looked for it, and then I would say it's been about 9 months since I contacted them to ask, be like, when is the next course? And somebody who listened to the podcast heard me talking about it, so sent it to me and was like, the course is back. Like, she sent it to me like last month.
That's amazing.
So I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So listeners, do you know what? Some of you lot plug us nasty sometimes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's how we just like, get the things that we get because of our listeners, are amazing, beautiful listeners. They be plugging stuff. So yeah, shout out the person in Canada, Leah.
I was just about to say that.
I'm done.
Yeah, Leanne.
Yeah, Leanne.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out the person in Canada, Toronto, Leanne, for sending us an email. I think was it this week?
They sent an email on the 24th of March.
Right, so last week.
And yeah, like the message we put on our socials, and the message was so nice. I think it was really timely because
we needed it.
Guys, we cannot be talking about leaving this podcast all the time. So the podcast, it came just after we said we're leaving the podcast, and it was really nice. I think it was good timing, and everything they put in the email is why we did the podcast in the first place.
Yeah, do
you know what I mean? It's like we wanted to see ourselves, and we wanted other people to see themselves as well, and people are, and to be able to do that from Canada, I do think we have had quite a lot of love from. I'm not gonna lie, the masculine presenting babes in Canada,
they're so nice.
Than the ones from here.
I know, they're so nice and so friendly. Like I love that.
I'm moving. I'm joining you guys.
I always wanted to move to Canada. That was a place I'd be like, okay, if I'm not living here, I would live in Canada.
If I think I'm gonna move.
Do you?
Let me get my intimacy coordination. I'm moving. I'm joining you guys in Canada. Why not? I'm around this good education there. I'm around go to school there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear it.
See you soon, Hans.
See ya. But yeah, shout out to Leanne, man. Appreciate your email. It was beautiful and it was definitely what we needed and it made our day.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, man. And thanks to everyone for listening to this episode. Thanks to everyone who listens to all the episodes. And thanks again to everyone who voted for us for Vision of the Arts Awards. And make sure you use the hashtag Tutus Podcast on Twitter. We haven't really been using Twitter much lately, but it's because you guys don't interact with us. So, but yeah, go use hashtag Tutus Podcast on Twitter. Follow us on TikTok. On TikTok has been TikToking.
Yeah, and sorry we used the word vagina. Vulva. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah,
sorry. We do understand why we should use the correct
term. We do understand why we should. But yeah,
Until next week.
Peace.